Man.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Lions Den podcast. Episode 29, another Monday night football. Monday night where we did not expect this result. Unfortunately, we had a very, very tough week. A week where we expected, calificación and CCL, and just to top it off, an away win versus Chivas, and that did not go as planned. So,
Something better than what we saw was what we expected.
yeah.
Anything better than what we saw.
Yes.
Anything, literally. So we're here because we're dando la cara. We're going to talk about it. We don't hide. We're here. Going to talk everything about Club Leon, what went wrong, what went right, which I don't think we'll have much in the what went right part. But we're here fearless, talking our emotions, venting out because we did not have a chance to kind of talk about it amongst ourselves. This is the time where we really get to vent out because I am so much emotional and I am low-key pissed. But hey, las buenas y las malas con el equipo, right? So,
Yeah.
As you can see, we have a couple of people missing. Carlos is sick and Javier should be joining us anytime soon. So for the meantime, it's Louis, Jose, and me. Guys, welcome. How are you feeling today?
Oh, it's just been we were talking about this before we went on. It's been a bad sports week all around. Bad. My Blazers lost twice. The Timbers, I was waiting to watch them till I drove back from Guadalajara last night and got home, watched the whole match, and they just looked awful in their season opener at home. There's just not a lot to be happy about this week in terms of sports. And when sports is as much a part of your life as it is for me, and as I know it is for you guys too, yeah, it's just been a bad week. It's been a bad week.
Yeah. I'm still trying to come to terms with it, to be honest. And just in my mind, some of my mind said, just tell me this is real. Tell me we're not like this right now. But I don't know. Oh man,
it's just such a weight on my shoulders. Like, I can't believe this happened, but then at the same time, you can't unbelieve what you saw on the field. And then you two were live at the stadium watching this, so I can just imagine me being behind the TV, you guys living it live, like all the emotions. Like, how was that in the stadium?
It was just a slow descent into madness, basically.
Yeah.
The match starts. We got a 2-0 lead. No matter what happens, we're starting with a 2-0 lead, so we're going in there feeling good. And then just from the get-go, you can tell that okay, LAFC came to play, and if we don't start matching this intensity, it's gonna start to hurt us.
Yeah.
And then the first one almost their first goal almost falls. It doesn't, and close miss, and okay, that's one chance. Then one gets called back. That call for offside. Obviously, there's no VAR in CONCACAF Champions League, but if they had reviewed it, it might have been good. And we're like, man, we're no salvamos. But if it keeps going like this, we're gonna have real problems. Then the first one falls, and okay, we know our team. The first one falls when their back's against the wall. That's when they start to respond. So now, no more messing around. They're gonna go for their goal and put this away. But it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
It never came.
Never came. Well, then finally, 60th, 70th minute in the second half, just like we suspected. Okay, LAFC's legs are starting to look a little heavy. Their chances are not coming as often. We're not doing anything, but they're not doing anything either. Looks like maybe we're going to survive this. Then out of nowhere, they get their second. And then okay, well now it's game on. No matter what, if we don't score, we're going to PKs. And then just a few minutes later, the third one falls, and it's just like, where is this coming from? We have no answer for this. We thought we were gonna get the job done. We thought we were gonna play for the 1-0 loss, and it wasn't. That's not the game anybody wanted to see, but at least we would go through. And then out of nowhere, just everything fell apart.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's I say out of nowhere, but I also say, you could see it coming. The buildup was
Yeah.
the buildup. It was a slow descent into madness. I think that's the best way to put it. Just unthinkable, unacceptable. There was no way on earth that this was going to happen. That this is going to be the story we would have to be telling on our next Monday pod. There's just no way that it was just unthinkable. Anything could happen, but not that. A 1-0 loss or even a 2-0 loss, and we go through on PKs. Okay, not what anybody wanted to see at all. But there was no way on earth that some way, shape, or form we were not going to get the job done. There was just no way that was it was just not an option to not get the job done. There was just no way that not getting the job done was an option. And it was just, it was this surrealist descent into madness. It was surreal. There was no way. And even up until the last second, you thought they were gonna find the goal that put them through, and they just didn't.
Okay.
They just didn't. And it was a feeling. I don't know. I've suffered through a lot of bad losses in the last 5 or so years, traveling around to see the team. Important losses, but this one just left a hole in my gut that I just had never felt before watching this team lose. I've seen them lose a lot, but there was something different about this one. And you know what it was? For me, this tournament was the last vestige, the last relic of our great Clausura 2019. I think I put this in some of my social media. Like, we made it to the final and lost. We had nothing to show for our 12 straight wins. Absolutely nothing except this.
Mm-hmm.
A clasificación to the CCL. You get that if you're in the final, you get that whether you win or not. That was what we had to hang our hat on from our great, unimaginably good season that came up just short of the complete glory. But at least we had this. And then all of a sudden, it evaporated. It was gone. It was gone into thin air. It was gone. And now we have nothing but a frustrated memory of the best regular season in the history of short tournaments in Mexican football. And I think, there was just no way this was ever going to happen. And then all of a sudden it did. And it's like, now what? We have nothing to we have nothing to show for this. We just have nothing to show for this. Yeah. It's all gone, evaporated into thin air, gone. That's why I felt so empty inside. And it didn't help that Nahuel Guzman scores a goal to put Tigres through the day before. Of all the things that could possibly happen, Tigres was going to be eliminated. Then stupid Nahuel scores, and Tigres are through. America goes through on PKs after playing just an awful series against Comunicaciones, a team they have no business ever trailing against. And we end up being the team that actually blows it.
Yeah.
All these storylines that just make this so painful on so many levels. And I just felt so hollow, so empty afterwards. I don't know. I know we're all in the same boat here, but that's how I would describe my sensation. Yeah. I don't know how would you guys describe yours? What more can you say? I don't know.
It just feels like the whole universe conspired against us. Like, we were, oh my God, like we were out of all the Mexican teams in the CCO, we were the one that had the most advantage, and we blew it. We blew it bad. Like, come on, like if I take from the first game, it was a 2-0, and in that game, we have 13 shots and 5 on target. 8 off target. Compare that to this game, 6 shots and 2 shots on target, 4 shots off target. Dude.
And we weren't able to
bigger to target
finish in the first game. And I had a feeling it's gonna come and bite us at the end because we did not go with the cushion. we
Yes.
could have gone to LA with a cushion of goals.
Yes.
And you know what? They would have scored 2 on us. Okay. Then
And-
then it gives them at least a time to wake up, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. There's that saying. It would sound so bad now that goles que no haces, goles que te hacen. No,
Exactamente.
man.
Gol fallado is gol en contra. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you, Cuddy, but I was just like, no, 2-0, no away goal for LA. We
Hey,
did
Javier.
enough.
Hey,
I
guys.
wanted to believe in the bottom of my heart that we did enough to get the result. And I think that if we played anything close to how we played last week or the week prior as opposed to this past week, I mean, there wouldn't have been a problem. But the world just came crashing. The world came crashing down on us.
Yeah. See,
I
I
like
think
you say, Jose, conspiring against us.
Mhm. Yeah.
The
I don't
world
know.
conspired against us.
I had to I have then right here too, like for the other games, but from what I've seen, at least usually throughout the games, mostly at home. Sometimes like 1 or 2 times when we're playing away. We usually have at least like 50 something percent of possession. Well, in these 2 games, which I think is maybe I don't know. I just found it curious that that was the case. In these 2 games, both games, we only had the first two no win versus LAFC at the Estadio Leon, only 47%. This game, 44%, which is way before like or usually 50 and above, which is always like 56. Mostly, the most would probably be like 60 something, but still, like they they took the ball away from us, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. Plus, plus, if you look at the first game and the second game, it's so different. First game,
Yeah.
like each team, like we had 2 saves by or goalkeeper. They have 3. This game, uh, I'm pretty sure LFC didn't have 1 save, or if anything, it will be 1. We had 7 saves in this game, the most in any game that we had played so far by
Gosa
our
was
goalkeeper.
man of the match. If it wasn't for him,
I
this
would
could have
be,
looked
I would be
even
too.
worse.
Like he was the only one que se salvó. Everyone else, oh my god! I guys, this is just like a reference, and I'm not even gonna say where it's from. Like I wanted to have I wanted that in black notebook will fall from the sky and write all their names. To be honest, if you know what I'm talking about, then cool. And so man, I just want to kill them. Oh my god! Like why can't
I've never seen this side of Jose. This is just like something
God.
new.
No, this week has brought out the worst in all of us.
Yeah. We were just like foul language back and forth. I know I was like, I can't. Like I can't.
So I mean, I think we can talk about the what for till the end of the day, but I think the more important thing is the why and the how. Like a week ago, our home game, yeah, we could have done more in that home game, but we played well. And then to get the weekend match against Necaxa to get that result, to get those points, have that cushion, which man, I'm really grateful for now, considering the match against Chivas and how we're still looking pretty good in the table. But I mean, last week, I mean, the team looked good. It looked like they had it figured out. You know, even with players out, and even with rotated lineups. I mean, it looked like they had going into the match in LA. It looked like they had everything figured out that they needed to get the result they needed in that game and to compete again on this weekend against Chivas. And it just didn't happen. So why? I mean, why do you guys think all of a sudden things just came crashing down? Just things collapsed. The complete 180 from where we'd been just a few days before.
I think it's just mentally the pressure. I feel like everybody,
but
I don't know what's up with Leon, especially in this Era Ambris where they
Yes.
mentally they just exit out and they either think like we said before, que ya lo tienen ganado. It's like no, it's
Right.
like the first game, the first leg, you had that easily we could have left 4-0 out. Why? Because we played well. Because we missed so many opportunities. LAFC looked terrible, and that's to be honest. Anybody can argue with me. And so coming, like you said, Louis, coming from that game, coming from Necaxa, we should feel comfortable. Like, hey, it's just another game. We just got to get the result. We just have to score one. All we needed to do was score one, and they came out there. There was no sense of urgency. There was no creativity. There was no defined style of play that Leon is just known for. It was just like apedrearon el rancho. That's what it was. I was just like, I can't believe this is happening, crumbling beyond my right now. Like it's just Javier.
Yeah. It's been listening to you guys, letting you guys vent. I feel the same. You guys know me. I was cursing the whole freaking game, but part of me kind of. I said it last podcast. I hope we don't do what we always kind of do, que es pecar de soberbia, and
That's what we did.
Yeah, and also, but it I don't know. I thought Ambris, his decision to the way he wanted to play against LAFC, which was kind of clear, which was defending that 2-0, is what really got me more mad. But it's like deja vu against Tigres in la final. It's kind of the same. We just needed to go get one goal, and it just seemed like it was an impossible task. So that being said, there's nothing more to say. At the same time, you realize that with the injuries, maybe it was never meant to be to play 2 tournaments, and maybe
well,
I think we could have pulled it off. I think for me, like, well, not only it was the players, but I mean, why? First of all, why start Godinez? Why? Somebody explain this to me. Like, why?
Because Nico Sosa was hurt. No, but Jose, I think that's where the injury perspective. Well, we can't blame it on that exclusively.
No,
but I mean, I think it does come into the conversation. I think it does come into the conversation. For example, if Nico Sosa is healthy and acoplado, I don't see any circumstance in which Chuy Godinez plays even 1 minute in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, or even Joel Campbell. He's not a traditional number 9, but he's a better option there than Godinez is. I mean, if these guys are available, Godinez doesn't play, and Godinez looked lost. He looked a lot more lost than I think either of those guys would have. I mean, we're not Tigres, we're not Monterrey. We don't have those planteles. You know, we don't have 22 starting caliber players. We have the players that we have, and you can't tell me that guys like, especially guys like Campbell. I think Campbell would have eaten the CCL for lunch. I just think the kind of player that he is, he would have gone out there and destroyed. Yairo also, like Yairo.
Yeah,
Yairo represents the exact kind of player that you don't see in MLS, that an MLS team would have trouble dealing with. An outside back who's just so dangerous in his own right, can create for himself in the attack. Like, he would have eaten CCL for lunch too. Like, those 2 guys not being available really hurt. And then, you know, because since they're not available, I mean, guys like Meneses and Ismael Sosa have had to play basically every minute of the last 2 weeks. Their legs are heavy. They didn't have anything left to give yesterday against Chivas. Let me tell you. And they wouldn't have had to play yesterday against Chivas if you have some of these other guys available.
To be honest,
you know,
I expected
we can't ignore that. I agree that we should have gotten the result that we needed in at least one of those games, whether those guys are healthy or not. But we can't ignore the fact that not having those guys available really hurt us this past week.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we can hide that. I think what I'm going is that since we did it the first leg with the same players, I expected them to redo it again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that was too much to ask, I guess. And also, I mean, throwing Godinez in there, but it's so frustrating because I was like,
I know. It's
You know,
one
they did it
goal.
with the players they had the
One
first
goal.
leg. All they needed to do was close it at home, close it away with the same players, and that did not happen. So, yeah. I mean, but yeah, it is true. I mean, obviously, obviously, Yairo being out, we were happy with the idea of Tecillo playing the left back position, right? Because to me, I just feel more secure. I think Yairo would have been a good sub. Maybe if we were to throw, I don't know, Sosa de Punta and Yairo on one wing, or switch Meneses. And there's different options that you can have. Jordan Campo, oh my god, yeah. Imagínate if he would have if we were 1-0 or 2-0 down, throw him in there. I'm not saying he's gonna save the match for us, but at least we can see some inspiration, some cambio de juego, some
something
Well, I
different.
mean, it's not just in the one match. Like, it's in all these matches that we've had to play in a short period of time, and we've had to reuse and rehash the same guys, Ismael Sosa and Meneses and Tecillo and Aquino. I mean, these guys have played almost every minute. I mean, they're
Aquino, I guess to me he played well. Besides Cota, I think he would be rescuable from the rest of the players.
But I mean, like, these guys have had to play. These guys shouldn't have had to play as many minutes as they've had to, and they had to because there's nobody with those missing guys. There's nobody else you can really put in there, and it's unfortunate. I think regardless, they should have done better than they did either yesterday or on Thursday. They should have gotten something out of at least one of those matches.
Yeah.
Preferably the CONCACAF champions, because obviously advancing in the CONCACAF champions than one league match against Chivas. But they should have gotten something out of at least one of those two matches. And I just think bad luck in terms of the players that we had available these past couple of weeks is a factor. It's not the only factor. It might not even be the deciding factor, but it is a factor. Yeah. And it's so disappointing to get to this point and not have those guys available that can give us a better shot at getting the job done that we need to get done. It's really disappointing. And now the thing about the CONCACAF Champions is, this was our first appearance in the CONCACAF Champions in more than 5 years. Who knows how long we're going to have to wait now for it to happen again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's this leaves a big hole in my heart. Like it's like I'm watching the same movie over and again from 2013-14 from the CONCACAF Champions.
Well, you okay, Louis?
Last time,
I'm good.
Like last time, we didn't took it seriously and we sent it soft, or soft team, like pretty much our second string team. This time we kind of took it seriously with more starters and whatnot. But then when it came to the big game, the one that we have to win, we had the advantage. We got cold feet.
Yeah.
We couldn't take the advantage of. We only had to score one goal. We have everything to win, and we blew it. Like it's just mind-blowing.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, right? Louis stated it perfectly. You had Nahuel did what he did, and they passed, and they've been playing really crummy. And then you have America going to penalties, unnecessary going to penalties, and then you have us, a team who actually plays football, who actually has a creative style, who actually people love to admire and love to watch us, and we fall apart. That's embarrassing.
The worst thing is that it's not the first time, like Louis said.
It's not the first time. I feel like we're used to it, but it pisses me off that we're used to it. You know what I mean?
That's.
I'm not used to it, but I accept it. I've accepted that this is just the reality when it comes to Leon in many, many games. For me, it was more like, okay, I saw what Tigres did. Amazing. I saw what America did, but they still went on to the second phase. That's when I was kind of doubting, like, can Leon pull? Because I felt like it wasn't going to be an easy game against LAFC at home over there in LA. So I was, all right, it's going to be kind of close. Let's see what happens. Hopefully Leon just shows that, what they did in Leon, they could do it over here at LAFC. They did the opposite. In my opinion, they stopped doing what they normally always do, what gives them the results. And it was, to me, a mediocre tactic to just defend the 2-0, and I think we got what we deserved for that reason. Also, it wasn't just Ambris planteamiento. It was a lot of players, man. Louis, we went to go see the Morelia versus León game in semifinal. And one of the things that, I mean, in the quarterfinals, and one of the things that I told you was, look, I'm not even mad at Morelia because I felt like they wanted it more. And it's always going to come down to that at the end of the day. Who wants it more? And unfortunately, I don't know what it is. Cota, I think, said it, I think, correctly when he said, this is not the León that, we all want. And it just feels like some players, it's a mental aspect problem when it comes to those kind of important games. No parecen.
Big games.
Yeah.
Big games.
Big games.
Let's go with the couple comments just quickly because we have a lot of people connected. First, obviously, our co-host Carlos, not on the pod, will be here watching and supporting. Yay!
Thank you, Carlos. I hope you're.
This one was from Eddie Dan. He said, me hizo recordar la semifinal contra Tijuana en 2012. En ambos encuentros solo tenían que marcar un gol y no lo consiguieron.
Is that 2012 or 2011?
2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
2011 they were still in Segunda.
Then we have our awesome friend in good company. I was surprised by Godin's ability to masquerade as a professional footballer for so long.
Real quick, I was gonna say the Tijuana thing because it does seem like the one in 2012. But there's also one in 2011. That's the one when in Segunda División where hubo la invasión de campo. I know you guys remember that.
Oh yeah.
And so either way, TJ has. It's I'm saying. I was talking to my dad about like where do you rank this as like la pérdida más dolorosa en la historia del Club León? Like is it top 5 or something? Is it top 5? Because I put Cruz Azul.
Cruz Azul is number 1.
97, yeah, because you can't. The Tigres one, you could see like, all right, I felt like Tigres kind of did their papel for them to win, and being all super defensive. But against Cruz Azul, I don't understand. Comiso, why? We had that whole camp. That was like
Cruz Azul for me. Yeah,
that's number 1 for us. Like that's why And there's another one, Irapuato in El Ascenso in 2003. That's gotta hurt. That's Irapuato, and it was a direct ascenso. So yeah, LAFC hurts too, though. Honestly, it does hurt because if you want to become a team that's transcendental internationally and wants to be up there with los grandes, kind of what I don't know. Like I don't want to put Tigres in this freaking category, but the way they won and the way how we lost is kind of like, hey, that's why it hurts to me, because it's kind of like, well, they're winning that race.
Well, I mean, it hurts. They had a very, very straightforward job to do, and they just didn't. They didn't do it. I mean, it's not like it's. I mean, they were coming in as heavy favorites, and the world just crashed down. Their world just crashed down on
guys. Like,
and it crashed down on us watching it.
It seems like every time that we have the advantage, we just don't know how to cope with it. Like we like it feels like it's. I don't know. It's too much for us. We don't know how to handle it. Like it's always when we have an advantage. I don't know.
It's
always
no sense of urgency. I don't understand. I want to like go in there and talk to them and be like, what is it? What is it? Like les pesa estar under pressure? Is that what it is? Or because it's just unacceptable. It's happened too many times. It's unacceptable at this point. If we don't win this season, it's gonna like throw me off like the edge. Like
we have to win this season, otherwise, because I already, I said fuera Ambriz, but then I kind of like, hold on. Let me just say something real quick. The only reason why I said that is because I just feel like it's not him alone, but it's this whole group that has the same problem since Tigres pretty much in that final. But also because I felt if this is the case, are we going to do the same thing in La Liguilla? Because it just feels like when it comes to Liguillas, when it comes to 2 late games, for whatever reason, León doesn't seem to ever kind of take advantage of those kind of they don't know how to play those kind of games. I don't know if it's Ambriz planteamiento, his mentality, lo que le transmite a los jugadores. I don't know what it is, but sometimes you've seen it, and you saw it last season with Monterrey when they brought Mohamed, and it was like a change of energy in the team that kind of we could talk crap about how they se metieron a octavo, but the more I think about it, I don't really care anymore how we make it to a liguilla. And I used to be like, I want to win a championship, having a tournament like totally like como like when we got to Tigres in la final, 12 victorias consecutivas, just showing everybody they're the best team in La Liga and then winning the championship. It's hard. I don't think any team has done it in the past. You look at Tigres, how they won their championship, Monterrey, how they won their championship. And at the end of the day, that's all that people really care and remember, winning championships. So I don't know. At this point, even if they bring somebody, that's why I felt let's just keep on Brice, see what we do this. But then if we don't win the championship, is it right for people to start saying fuera Brice? Because people are already getting like mad because they're saying it was just a bad week. Yeah, it's a bad week, but you get eliminating Coca Champions. That you got to add those to las veces que ha sido eliminado en la era Brice. These are like not good results. And you lose against Chivas, which is like, I never want to lose against Chivas. Yeah. Understandable. What Luis said is true. Meneses and Sosa have played so many games, and I just felt that they were extremely tired when they were playing against Chivas. I just felt they just stopped running. It is what it is. At the same time, like I said, we've been through way worse situations, and I guess we can lose against America. We can lose, but if we make it to the Liguilla and then we win the championship, none of this is gonna matter. Yeah, no one's gonna. I'm not even gonna care about Macias kissing El Escudo, which I don't even care.
That's another topic. What?
I was trying to transition.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, you're right. It's not gonna matter as long as if we win the league, none of this is gonna matter. Mm-hmm. But winning the league is Ambrice's only chance, and probably the only chance for a lot of these players. A lot of these players to. I mean, I think they're going to tear. If we don't win the league, they're going to tear it down, and maybe they should. I mean, football is a ciclo. Every época is a ciclo, and every ciclo has its fin. And I think this has been a really, really largely positive ciclo, except for the lack of hardware. There's a lot to like. There's been a lot to like in the last 14, 15 months with this club. Watching them play has been a lot of alegrías. It's been a lot of felicidad, in spite of the lack of hardware, in spite of not taking that last step to put something in the trophy case. There's been a lot to like, but this is the last chance for this version of Club León to redondear su ciclo with a trophy. It is their last chance. I am confident. I'm 100% confident saying now it is the last chance. If they don't win the league, Ambrice will be gone. A lot of probably Angel Mena will be gone. I don't know. You can name a lot. There's a lot of players on the list you could name who will probably be gone. I just think they're gonna tear it down if we don't win the league this time, and maybe they should. I'm not gonna say whether they should or shouldn't, but maybe they should. I mean, it would make total sense if they completely tore it down. But at the very least, Ambrice will be gone if he does not win the league with Club León this tournament. I'm going to say that right now.
And you know what, Louis? You just said something real, because it's true. It's always going to fall on Ambrice's shoulder, right? But at the same time, I think La Directiva has the most, culpa in all of this, because they knew they were going to play 2 tournaments, and they brought us who? Barreiro and Nico Sosa. I'm not going to trash Nico Sosa, but he was injured right off the bat. I don't know if it was from probably an injury from maybe back where he came from, or maybe aquí when he came to León, whatever. The point is that también a veces fallan los refuerzos para Ambriz, and it's messed up because, when I saw that Mena wasn't going to play against LAFC, I think you said it too. You said that's when we know that no one can replace Mena. So it's kind of like that can't be. When you had the opportunity to buy Macias and he didn't want to come to León, I thought, great. I don't even think he's worth $10 million or whatnot. But we can use that money that you supposedly had to buy Macias to maybe buy a defender, someone, I don't know, that could take Mena's place if he gets injured or whatnot, or a delantero de peso. And no, they bring us Barreiro and Nico Sosa, who's injured. Nothing against Nico Sosa still. I'm just saying, like, we could have just gotten a way more important striker. I don't know. I think they have the most.
They could have done more. They could have done more than they did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
At the end of the day,
I mean, they are to blame, but it seems like in Liga MX, the one who always ends up paying the price for failure is the manager. That's why there's so much manager turnover.
Yeah.
In Liga MX, probably more than any other league that I follow. I mean, Tuca Ferretti is the one anomaly. He's been there forever, but every other team doesn't last more than a couple tournaments with the same manager. Because you can't blame the directiva. The directiva is untouchable. You can't.
Untouchable.
It seems that way. It seems that way. You know, Rodrigo Fernandez is not going to fire himself. You know.
Hey, guys. Yeah. By the way,
He looks in the mirror.
Look in the mirror. You know, just
like
you're fired.
So they
Come on, man,
get rid of the person. They get rid of the person closest to the top of the chain as possible, but who is not at the top of the chain, and that's the manager. I mean, there's just so much manager turnover. Like, it's never the player's fault, and it's never the sporting director's fault, and it's certainly never the owner's fault.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think at the very least, if they don't win the league, Ambris is gone. I'm not saying that that's fair necessarily, but I'm just really wondering right now, like, are they just tired? Are their legs shot, or has Ambris lost the locker room? Do they just not want to play for him anymore? Like, these are serious questions. And if they don't want to play for him anymore, I want him to have his chance to get his league title with this team, because it would just be such a fitting ending to the great ciclo that he's had.
Yeah.
But I want him to have, in my heart, I want him to have that chance. But if he's lost the locker room, the only way to save the season might be to let him go now. You know, like it's
risky. It's risky.
It's risky.
But it's not gonna happen. If
I'm not saying we're like Atlas, but look at Atlas.
No, what the heck?
They've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And this is like they could have Atlas is a different situation. Why? Because they honestly, if they knew they were gonna give Cufre enough time, they should have just fired him before the season started and gave Puente a new clean sheet, but that didn't happen. So Antonio Garcia has a good point, which I think Carlos agreed, said if this Leon team doesn't win the league, they will be remembered as a team that could have achieved everything, but decided not to. And it comes from them.
That's what it feels.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Are they deciding not to? Do they just not want to play? Do they not want to try anymore? Or are they hurting? Like, are they physically exhausted? Are they unable to compete at the highest level? I don't know. I mean, I think that's a strong. I think he's certainly right to a degree, but it's a strong thing to say that suggests so many things by saying they decided not to. I mean,
I think it's just
that's like saying they want to win, but or they can win, but they don't want to, or they don't care enough to.
I
think they just, maybe
I guess I'm getting que no hubo garra, like,
I've said it.
La camiseta, like.
Have you not seen the Matosas meme? That's the best meme.
I know.
Absolutely.
That's the truth. That's really the truth. What's going on with this team? Honestly, I think that's what it is. I think it's more about that. I think when it's time to. And a lot of players are like that. You could be a really great player, you really can, and you can just regular season games, you can just always show off and everything. But when it comes to the important ones, the one where there's all that pressure, and some players just se hacen chiquitos. Mm-hmm. And I think Leon has had that problem with, I don't know what play. I'm not gonna say what players, but with Tigres it was very clear what happened there. With LAFC, we were only going for 1 goal. There is no way que ningún tiro al arco.
Yeah.
That's just like, what is that? What kind of a mental disorder could that be called in soccer? I don't know what it is. Cruz Azul fever. I don't know. But the point is, I think maybe like, honestly, the best situation here now is just kind of what El Presidente said, like, let's keep the faith, I guess. There's nothing else we could do. We lost against Chivas. We lost against LAFC. We got Juarez, Pumas, and America. If we're still in 3rd place, I guess, like me, I'm just a very angry person when it comes to my team not playing well and then making it to a liguilla. And I'm the kind of fan that says, I don't even want to win it. I don't care. But not no more because of what Luis said. I really want there to be like a really great ending to this ciclo, the Ambris era. I don't want Leon to be that team what Antonio just said, el equipo que pudo haber ganado todo and they won nothing. I don't want Leon to be remembered like that. Because then that's, again, it goes against my conversation of I want Leon to be up there with the Grandes. And, they have the history. They have the history.
They just need the titles to back it up.
Especially this era, this new decade. I think La Directiva is not going to fire him. And I think we're going to have to be just a ver qué pasa. And como dicen, La Liguilla is another tournament. And hopefully with Jairo coming back, Nico Sosa coming back, Campbell coming back, and Umena's already back.
Yeah, I don't want them to fire him. Really, in my heart, I don't want to see him go. As long as his players are still willing to fight for them. As long as the struggles right now have nothing to do with their respect for Ambriz, the players' respect for Ambriz, lack thereof.
Yeah.
Just other circumstances that have hindered our success. I'm like you, Javier. I want to see him finish off the sequel strong, or even win something and then go win again. Win something else. Have another chance.
So before, sorry, Louis, sorry to cut you. We have a special guest that is joining us.
Do we?
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Hey, Marcelo, what's up?
We're pouring our hearts out. So
I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying.
I just finished playing indoor soccer to run off more frustration. So. Oh my Lord! What a rough week.
It was a very rough week.
Brutal.
We feel
brutal, but
we feel
come on.
inside.
Yeah, we do, but it's like I said, I'm not saying I'm used to it, but Leon fans, we have to have thick skin. I think it's just. Plus, it was one of those things that I was saying, and I think, of course, Marcelo said it many times. If we don't match the intensity of the other team, this was bound to happen, and it just felt like that. It felt like that against LAFC, and the better team won. That's just what it is. And in León, we always have this motto: "Se apuesta la vida, se respeta al quien gana." That's that's all I can say about that.
I'll say this: you're going to go through moments in life as a team where things aren't going to go well. Correct? Mm-hmm. They had a result that I don't think any of us saw coming. Let's be honest, no one saw that coming. Their potential was there. Because I've been to LAFC, I know what that stadium's like. I know what their fans are like, and it's going to happen. Unfortunately, it happened to us, and it happened to Leon, and it's one of those things. You lose now to Chivas. I get it. It's a rough week. It's quick turnaround. So you know what they say: the next game's the important game. The next game is time to get a result. Is it Nacho Ambriz's fault? Is it anybody's fault? No. You know what I mean? It's just some of those days. Sometimes you go through this as a team. It happens. Now you check the character of this team. You check the mentality of this team to see what they can do in the next game. That's going to be the key. How do they bounce back? How do they approach the next game? And it's tough to swallow, but it happens. It happens in sports, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Padres fan, bro. So it's kind of like.
I guess what frustrating is for us is that in the first leg, like we mentioned it in the podcast last week, how that game could have they come out of there 4-0, 5-0. They would have gone to LA with somewhat of a cushion. And knowing what happened the second leg, all they needed to do was score one goal. But then obviously.
Not that easy. It's not that. Listen, what could have, should have, would have. We look at those and you have opportunities in game. It's the people that capitalize and finish those opportunities. LAFC finished those opportunities. And they took advantage of that and they knocked it out. We at home had those opportunities. We let them slip by. So you can't blame LAFC. They did what they had to do. We in León had great opportunities. They won handily 2-0, which you would have hoped it could have been 3. Let's be honest, it could have been 3 or 4. But at the end of the day, if you can't get the job done in LA, and I thought that was probably the worst game I've seen León play so far. I did not think they came out almost, it looked almost like they thought, okay, we beat them pretty well at home. Well, probably the same kind of game will happen here. And I don't think they were 100% prepared for what LA was going to bring to them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
They definitely were not.
Yeah.
We were,
I
yeah.
know.
I mean, we were there, but we couldn't even after LAFC came out and showed us the kind of game they were willing to play and they were going to play.
Yeah.
As I said at the beginning of this, before you came on, Marcelo, that we couldn't even really. It was a slow descent into madness for those of us. For those of us who were there, like it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. But it never, like in our minds, what happened was unthinkable. There was just no way that it could happen. That what happened could happen. No matter what, we were going to find a way. Even if we played a bad game, even if it wasn't the game anybody wanted to watch, even if it wasn't an enjoyable game, we were going to get the result that we needed. And it was just.
But you know what though? But I think that's the wrong mentality. You know why? Because
Right.
this isn't the MLS of 10 years ago. This is
No,
no longer.
yeah.
These teams are spending money.
Mhm.
LAFC has spent tons of money on bringing in players, bringing in a goalkeeper, bringing in defenders. So this is a different MLS than people are used to of 3 or 4 years ago. So and that's what I said to you. If they walk in with the wrong mentality, if they don't match LAFC's intensity, they're going to be in trouble. And I think a lot of Mexican teams now, Liga MX, saw that game and are woke up a little bit now thinking, oh, crap, this is what MLS is going to bring now. You
Yeah.
know?
To
Yeah.
be honest, in my opinion, I think last CCL was in the semifinals. Yeah, I think. I think since then they should have woken up because they MLS teams did a pretty damn good game against.
But do you remember who the final was? Who was the final in Champions League?
Last season
Yeah.
was Tigres Monterrey.
Yeah.
Tigres Monterrey. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but wait, but
that would have been if that
before,
would have been an MLS team. If that would have been an MLS team, I think things would be different. But it
mhm.
always goes back to it was 2 Liga MX teams. The MLS still isn't near us. I'm not saying we are,
Mhm.
but there are certain teams with certain players, like you see LAFC. They've got
Mhm.
something that started last year, and you can see Velas picking up right where we left off last year. And they're not going to be an easy team. They are not going to be an easy team.
Well, there have been flashes. No, the first opening round of last season when Sporting Kansas City absolutely destroyed Toluca. Like it wasn't even
Yep.
close.
Yep.
They got demolished by Monterrey in the next round. But I
Yep.
mean, there have been flashes of MLS teams
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
sticking it to Liga MX clubs. It hasn't happened frequently, and since it
Yeah.
hasn't happened hardly in any finals, I guess Toronto made the final 2 years ago. But in
Yep.
general, you know, that they haven't had a lot of success past the opening rounds. Nobody remembers, but there have been flashes, you know, warning signs, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
like Foco Rojo. That I mean, these
Yeah.
teams are coming. These teams are coming for
Yeah.
us, and if we're not prepared, we're gonna suffer.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess that's what you could say is what happened on Thursday. We weren't prepared for the game. They came out there to stick it to us, and they did. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
The only way they're going to take the only way Liga MX they take MLS serious, but the only
Mhm.
way there's a wake up call is if an MLS team wins Champions League. If they win Champions League, that's going to send a huge shockwave through Liga MX of what's going on. Because let's be honest, no one expects an MLS team to win. Everybody thinks, oh, it'll be a Mexican team. If an MLS team can win it, man, is that going to wake up a lot of Mexican players, a lot of Mexican teams, and what it would do for this league right now to have a team win Champions League.
Well, honestly, I hope they do. Now that Leon is out, and then we don't have a dog in the now that we don't have a dog. We don't have a dog in the fight. And we don't have a dog in the fight. We don't have a dog in the fight anymore.
Exactly.
Like it would be a lot of fun to see that happen. Like
Yeah.
go
I wouldn't mind it because I don't want America or Tigres to win it. And Cruz
There you
Azul,
go.
come on.
go New York City or or Atlanta or one of them. That'd be a lot of fun to see.
Or
that happen.
LAFC, you know.
Or LAFC.
It would mean a lot to me that the team that wins the championship, you know, the team that eliminated Leon wins champions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they win the whole thing, that would make it sting a little bit less, I suppose.
Yeah.
And if
Yes,
they
it
well, if
would.
they have, yeah, if they go and if they have to go through a couple more Liga MX clubs to get there too, and they beat them, I mean, especially like, you know, hopefully they beat at least get through Cruz Azul in the next round. That'd be kind of funny.
That'll be a good test. That'll be another.
Yeah.
Good test.
That's a good game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good series for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good teams too. Even the Olimpia from Honduras, who eliminated, was it Olimpia? Yeah.
Yeah.
Olympia.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. My MLS club is the Portland Timbers, so I love seeing the Sounders go out early. That was great.
Yeah, you were happy because of that.
I was really happy about that.
Oh man.
But at least we've ended this with kind of laughter because it was just from the beginning, like, what happened? Like, I can't believe this happened. It was just crumbling, like, in front of our eyes. Like, I just couldn't. Couldn't say anything after the game. I just turned it off, went to bed.
I know. I saw your tweet that you were donezo. No more chatter about that.
I'm done for the night.
Time being,
I tweeted all night. I wasn't gonna.
I couldn't.
No se me va el internet, you know, like none of that. But you know, it is what it is.
Yesterday, when Chivas was, as soon as Chivas scored the second goal, I turned it off. I was like, I cannot with this week. Like, it's just so much for my little heart. Like, and las buenas y las malas con León, but it's just so hard, and everybody's just bashing on us, and it's kind of like, well,
it is what it is. You know, it's.
I was there in person. I couldn't turn it off, unfortunately. And I wasn't gonna leave her. I paid for tickets. I wasn't gonna leave early. I'm gonna sit here until the bitter end.
You were in LA and Guadalajara.
I was in LA.
Yeah.
I was in LA on Thursday.
I'm sorry.
And Guadalajara yesterday. You know, I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss a minute of it for the world. There's nothing that nada me apasiona más que ver jugar al Club León. I would not have missed a second of it. I wouldn't have missed a second of it, but
you're not going to the next game, are you?
Yes, I am. I absolutely am.
Can you miss one? You went to the last two and we lost. Can you miss one?
Hey, man, I was there for all 12 wins in a row a year ago. So,
okay. You know what I mean? That luck runs out. So maybe
maybe buy a new jersey. I don't know, lucky jersey.
So
yeah, you know, it was a horrible week, but like I said, it's not the end of the world. We still have the Liga forward.
No, sooner or later we're gonna get over this. Sooner or later we're gonna get over this. We're still mad now, but we're gonna get over this. And like Marcelo said, the only game you can win is the next one. You know, the ones that already happened, like, you know, the only game we can win is the next one. It's gonna be tough in Juarez, but. You know, for better or worse, we only have one tournament to worry about right now. We're not going to have to play 3 matches in 7 days anymore for the time being. I mean, they're going to get their legs back. They're going to get some players back from injury. I mean, all we can do is hope that they get their mojo back and go on a run towards the end of the season and be strong in Liguilla. I mean, there's nothing else we can really hope for right now.
But that's the bottom line. Every team's going to go through a hiccup. Every team has that little bit of a slump. It's normal. There's not a team that will run through a whole season. They will have a hiccup. Somewhere they will have a hiccup. Would you rather have the hiccup now, or would you rather have the hiccup in the final against Tigres where they didn't play well? I'll take it now. Let them get it out of the way. Let them have their hiccup. Now, you know what? They get a week off. They get to relax. They get their legs back. And now you start building towards the playoffs. I would rather see this team streak at the end than to streak all the way to the end and then stumble at the end.
And it's kind of a nice luxury to have that hiccup and still only be 1 point off the top of the table.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why. I'm sorry. That's why when I tweeted, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. We're not even we're still in third place. It's sometimes you know, I guess in my opinion, it was more of. Well, other people were kind of burlando. I saw La Cuenta de Morelia was making fun of León, and that gets me mad. But that being said, it's not really Ambriz's fault. You know, only his fault. And like Marcelo said, it's a hiccup, and I'd much rather have it right now than when we had it, you know, in la final con Tigres. I think we need to wait for los refuerzos to come back. I think Jairo is fundamental piece to have back. I think you said it, Louis, yourself. If we would have had him against LAFC, would have been interesting because he is an interesting player.
He's a different kind of player. He's a different kind of player that LAFC in either leg would have had a hard time dealing with. To have him out, and Joel Campbell too. I just think Joel Campbell would have been so valuable against LAFC. He would have been a guy who would have gone out there and run all over him.
Yeah.
No, I agree about the hiccup thing. It's better to have it now. It's just so painful that the hiccup includes being eliminated from Conca Champions.
And losing to Chivas. You know, both,
and losing to Chivas, but especially being eliminated.
By the way, Javier, you said Morelia was teasing us?
Yeah, they were.
They were teasing us.
I forgot to see what tournament they were in.
Yeah, exactly. And you know,
they were teasing somebody that was in Champions League. Oh, that's right. They're at home watching us play.
They were at home watching, and they're still celebrating their win in cuartos de final, which is great. But like I said, when León beat them in the 2013 Liguilla, when they ended up becoming champions, we didn't even it was okay, it was just a game you needed to win. We don't celebrate cuartos de final wins. We celebrate titles.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
I was just,
wins as infrequently as they do, you know.
No, but you know,
they have to get their licks in when they can.
Yeah, they can have their laugh. They can have their laugh. I just think that they won that game, so why are they still echándolos en la cara? A veces hay que saber ganar también.
They're just
jealousy,
trying to,
man, jealousy.
Yeah, they're just trying to make a rivalry where there isn't one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the fans, they want that to be like another.
Yeah, I mean, I
the
think,
zona, and it's like at this point, it's kind of like Tijuana wants that too, and I've heard Querétaro fans want. I don't think so, man. I mean, there's got to be more history.
Among
the
provincial clubs. I was going to say, among the provincial clubs in the league, we've been among maybe the most successful. So I think teams like Morelia and Querétaro that feel like if León has been so successful, why can't we be? And they just aren't. And I think, and I mean, for the fans of theirs that are the Hueso Colorado, really go for those clubs. I mean, you really gotta. If you're going to go for those clubs, you really got to go for those clubs. And you see our club had more success being in a similar kind of situation as them.
Yeah.
I think it stinks for them to not have had anything close to the kind of success that we had. So I count my blessings in that sense that we are a provincial club, that has had a lot of success, and it could be a lot worse.
Yeah. And also, I think the game with LAFC, I think something special was born there. I don't know what it is, but I think it's not the last time LAFC and León are going to face each other. I don't know. I just think it's not the last time.
You know why, though?
That could be like a future Clásico Internacional for León.
No, because there's the League Cups coming in. Is it July?
Yeah.
September, I think. But LAFC won't be in that, unfortunately. So we don't get our shot at revancha.
Well, maybe not this year, but maybe.
No, I'm not talking about this year. I'm just saying the long run. Maybe one day we'll face them in a final de Conca Champions, and I'd much rather win that.
Well, I mean, I think
you could win this time, LAFC, but
I mean, I think I'm curious to see what Marcelo thinks about this, but I think the idea is to get more competitive matches between the two leagues. I mean, more rather than less. I think more opportunities for these teams to play each other in a competitive. I mean, Leagues Cup is just the start. I think. They're talking about going so far as doing a full merger between the two leagues. Sort of like an interleague play in baseball kind of thing. I mean, I think. I hope we get another shot at them, because I don't want it to be 10, 20 years before we get our chance at revancha with LAFC.
Business.
It's
unfinished business. Sure. Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think that little by little we'll see and I'm not sure if a merger of Liga MX and MLS is something everybody wants to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think with Leagues Cup, they're trying to find ways to have more competition between Liga MX and MLS. And I think the biggest step right now will be this All-Star game. I think this All-Star game is going to be a huge step for Major League Soccer. I think it's a huge step for Liga MX, because you usually don't have an All-Star game, or the fans get the pick, so the fans will be involved a little bit, from what I understand. Mm-hmm. So I think there will be. Will there be a match, a Clásico between León and LAFC? I doubt it. I think it's going to be a rivalry anyway of Liga MX and MLS, USA versus Mexico, Mexican national team players against their former teams in Mexico. So you can kind of see this kind of building. And I know here in the U.S., we get a lot of the media from Mexico, how upset people in Mexico are because Chicharito came to the United States, Vela came to the United States, Alan Pulido came here, Pizarro came here. So you can already kind of see this little bit of friendly tension between Liga MX and MLS, and I think it's fantastic. The bigger it grows, the more we play against teams like that, the better we're going to get. The more money it's going to show us that we have to spend. We have to spend money in order to compete with Leon. And LAFC spent money and they competed. I think that's going to be the standard in this league in MLS. You're going to have to spend to compete. But let's be honest, take away the result, the way they interacted, our fans in LAFC, the MLS fans, the way they were treated in Leon, the way the ALFC fans treated the Leon fans, and you were there. That's what it's about. It's a growing league, and it's accepting both teams, both leagues. And the other day we did LAFC. I did LAFC or LA Galaxy, and I did Houston. And one of our reporters went outside, and the guy is a Houston Dynamo fan, and he's here. Well, I want my team to win, Houston, but I want Chicharito to score.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if we win 3-2,
Yeah.
Chicharito scores, we're happy. So you see what I'm saying? It's becoming that league now where even though you support Chicharito and the Mexican national team, but you still want him to do well in Major League Soccer. So I think it's great. It's unfortunate that we lost, but I think it's great for both leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for
think
now,
everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. That's the only thing that keeps me just optimistic
Keep you
about.
sane.
Yeah, because
Motivated.
no, for now, I just hope both clubs make the Champions League again next year, so that we don't. At least there's a possibility of a rematch.
Yes,
But it just stings because they got us this first time, and nothing's ever going to change that. You know.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
We'll meet in the final.
Maybe you get Chicharito next year. Who knows?
Yeah.
We will not spend that money
That way
on
Leon
him.
spends now. It's
Nah,
gonna happen.
They couldn't spend it on
Leon doesn't
JJ.
spend. Leon doesn't spend money like that.
They didn't.
We're not balling.
We're not Tigres or Monterrey or whatever.
Yeah, we only do loans and then 2 million.
And we loan our young talents, and they end up being like figuras in other teams, and then they get bought.
Rocha.
We have a comment from Justin Brandt saying, much respect for the Leon fans who made it to Los Angeles. Leon fans were incredibly hospitable and friendly when we visited the prior week. Like Marcelo said, it's just, mutual respect compared to the comments and kind of, what people were saying happened in Leon and, regarding the fans. And I think Leon did their part,
Oh, when they were booing.
Shout out to my boy Justin. That's my friend Justin there, who I met here in Guanajuato in the bars when some of their fans had come down to join or to see the area, not just go to the match, but to explore the area a little bit. So Justin's a good dude, and I think all the LFC fans that came down here had a good time, and we had a great time up there too. Well, at least all the way up until the end of the match. But shout out to Justin there. And no, Justin, you asked before I saw your comment. It's not mezcal in my glass here. It's tequila.
It was water.
Normally I wouldn't have tequila during the show, but this is a special week. Yeah.
I allowed it.
Yeah.
We're still not talking about Chivas. That's the worst part.
I don't think let's not talk about Chivas. I think that we've already kind of intertwined that.
Let's talk about the future. Let's not talk about.
I think what people, Luis from Chivas del Norte, he really wanted to touch on the topic of I'm here for the JJ
match kiss.
Yeah, let's. How about we don't give him that satisfaction? My suggestion.
Bro, he can kiss whatever he wants. That's all I care. I don't care.
I don't even remember anymore.
I mean,
we don't claim him, so it's okay.
Yeah.
he kissed the Leon badge when he played for Leon against Chivas. So I mean, I think we can see what badge kissing means to him.
Was it like a reverse thing? Like, hey, I'm sorry for kissing the Leon badge. I'm gonna put the Chivas one out in the same game.
I don't know. Once he left Leon, he became unimportant for me. Like, so I don't really care what happened. I mean,
it is what it is. He kissed the Chivas badge because he loves Chivas. I don't really care. In Momento when he was with Leon,
good for him.
He kissed the Leon badge because he was just appreciative that he got the opportunity. Because when he was sent over there to Leon, he felt like, oh, Chivas doesn't want me. So that badge kissing was different from why he kissed the Chivas badge. Okay, he kissed the Chivas badge. You guys won. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys make it to La Liguilla. Otherwise, all this burlándose really is nothing. And
Marcelo, what do you think of the badge kissing? You as a former player, like, what do you think?
Here's the deal. I think you can look at it a few different ways. I've seen a lot of guys that when they get traded from one team and they play against their former team, they don't celebrate the goal out of respect for their fans because they played there. They didn't want to celebrate in front of their own fans and kind of rub it in. So there's a different way of going about it. Other people will go from club to club to club, whichever one's willing to pay them the money, and they'll kiss the badge and they'll play to the fans and they'll love the club that they're at that moment, and then they'll move on to the next club. So you got to look at it as athletes. Everybody looks at it different ways. I'm more of the guy of respect. If you score against your old club and you've been there 5 or 6 years, those fans loved you. They respected you. That family embraced you. I don't celebrate. Because it's disrespectful. At home, it's one thing, but when you're on the road, you don't celebrate. Kissing the badge. Listen, I get people want to show that they love their club, and I think it's awesome because that's the club they represent at the time, and they love that club for there. So do I blame him? No, because he's with Chivas now, and that's the team he represents, and that's the team he's playing for. So that's the way he felt at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because
it's just weird because if he scores against like other teams, he's probably not going to kiss the badge. So that's where it's kind of like we know why you're doing it, and it's fine. You can try to give a message because in the moment when he came back to Chivas, many people said, "Oh, we don't want him back after how he So he's just trying to but that's the kind of player that he is, and I don't really care. Buena suerte, really. I wish you guys the best of luck because you guys need to be
if he would have kissed the badge, if he scored at Leon and celebrated like that, that's completely different.
That's
but I'm saying that is, that's different. But at home in front of his fans, he was just, listen, anytime somebody beats Leon, you can see how excited they get because they're at the top of the table. They beat one of the top teams in Liga MX, so he celebrated at home. It is what it is. I don't take it personal. Now, if you do it at my stadium, the next time I get a chance, I'm going to light you up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's what I hope Javier's right. I hope they make Liguilla, and I hope we face them in Liguilla. And then we get a chance to I don't know, set things right. I would say. I don't know. I will say I'm not offended. I'm not mad.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I did. I don't know. He amped it up a little bit because he was playing against Leon. Whether that's because of his time, here, or if it's because of what you say, Marcelo, that we're a top team and he scored against us and we're at the top. Whether that's has more to do with that than the fact that he played here for a year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not upset. I did feel like he was milking it a little bit though.
Yeah. Wow. Listen.
Yeah.
When you get traded and you play your former team, there's a little bit of, I want to show you what you let go. I want to show you why you didn't pay me and you let me go. So I get it. I get the little bit of I want to show you what you're missing, kind of mentality.
And also, JJ, he's a smart kid. He did that because we're talking about him right now. That's what he wants, and he's that's all I can say. That's why I didn't want to talk about it. But
all right, let's switch topic then.
As long as we're talking about him, I'll just say thought he was going to be in Europe by now, and he isn't. So there you go.
Yeah.
How's that for talking about him? Yeah.
Hello.
That airplane hasn't left Mexico, yeah, it's still some way in en route.
So yeah,
Okay.
let's just end the conversation with Chivas. We're just gonna quickly brush over Juarez. So we're currently on the table in third place with 15 points. They are just below us with 14 points. So it's gonna be a very interesting match with Leon after losing two matches. It's a match where they have to win. They have to get those 3 points. Like Marcelo said, they have to find a way to bounce back. And even if it's in Liga, now they have to focus because after Juarez, it's Pumas, and in America, it's going to be back to back to back, and we're just going to have to deal with it. So, how are we feeling about Juarez? Are you confident?
No,
Are we just like, you know what?
I'm gonna backtrack on what you said just a little bit. I don't see it as a must win. I just want to see them play the way we're accustomed to see them playing. Play hard and go out there and play their style. And I'll take a draw or even a hard fought close loss. I mean, I don't want that obviously, but what I'm more worried about now are the formas. It's gonna be hard. I mean, Gabriel Caballero has those guys playing well. I mean, they're playing. They are playing quality, especially at home. Although, I mean, they just who did they just beat? Who did they just beat? I can't remember who they just beat.
San Luis 3-0.
Yeah, they went to San Luis where we couldn't get anything going. They went there and got a 3-0 win. I mean, they really stuck it to him. He has those guys. They're not an expensive club. They don't have a lot of top talent. But man, he's got those guys playing really well. It's gonna be tough. I going up there and trying to get a win, that's going to be tough. So I'll be satisfied with seeing them play hard and going out there and fighting for it, even if they don't get the ideal result. Because I think it's going to be real tough. I just want to see León play like León again. Yes. I think if we see them play like León again, I mean, that's going to bode well for the upcoming matches.
Who is supposed to come back this week? Is Jairo coming back this week, or is he still injured?
I think after the Juarez game should be Jairo and Nico Sosa, because they're supposed to come back like around the same time.
Okay, because I saw somewhere on Twitter that if they're not ready against Juarez, a little bit after Juarez, they should be already coming back.
We'll see, because you know how like Breeze like to kind of like keep them maybe for like one.
It's kind of weird. Yeah, but okay. God damn it. All right, whatever. Never mind.
Well, let's go ahead and go to our favorite segment, Javier. You know what time it is.
But I'm desanimado. Okay, I'll just it's prediction time. Da, 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 da. Prediction time.
All right. Prediction time. Predictions versus Juarez. It's a Sunday night game. So let's go ahead and start off with. Let's go with Jose. Give me your prediction.
I'll take anything, but I'll go with at least even. Even give me a 1-0. I just want us if we win, cool. If we don't win, cool. I just want Leon to come back to the playing style that we were playing, just to come back there at least. I don't mind not winning, but at least win at least 1-0, please.
Okay, 1-0. 1-0, Jose. Louis.
Again, like I said, lo que me preocupa son las formas. I want to see the León that represents the best of what León has had to offer over the past year and change. Just the good style of playing. I'm gonna go with a 2-2 draw. I'm gonna say that we're not gonna be able to keep them off the scoreboard. They're gonna play their game. They're gonna show why they've been playing so well. Juarez, that is. But I think this entire week off, get a little bit of our legs back, maybe get some players back. I think it's going to be important. I think that's going to be good. I think we're going to see a different León. I think we're going to see something closer to the León that we're accustomed to seeing on Sunday. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get the win. I don't think it will be. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw, hard fought, exciting 2-2 draw. León looking more like León, but not getting the win.
Okay, Louis says 2-2 draw. Javier.
Okay, I'm hoping for a win, but I feel we're gonna draw. I think a 1-1 draw. Makes sense. Juarez is playing really good,
Mhm.
and there's nothing you can take away from that team. Leon must win, but that doesn't mean they're going to win. We already see what happens when Leon has to win. They usually don't.
Mhm.
So I think I'm with Louis with this. As long as I see una mejoría and the way that people look, the thing that bothered me the most against LAFC is that there wasn't any shot on target. That's just weird to see with the Leon team that's been known for making a lot of opportunities, creating a lot of opportunities. So if we can start showing that again, and just maybe the confidence will go up, and we play a good game, we maybe not win. I definitely don't want to lose. So that's why I'm going more with the draw. I definitely don't want to lose. If you lose, you're going to get more of these fuerambris, and the morale is going to keep going down. And then against Pumas, and that's what I see.
Going to get deeper.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for something positive. Not as I just don't want to get my hopes up. That's it. So I'm going with the tie 1-1.
Yeah, I get you.
Hey man,
Marcelo, what is your prediction?
Here's the deal. I understand you guys want to see Leon be Leon. I want to see them get a result. Okay, they could play the worst game in the world, but if they walk out of there 1-1 with a point, that's a morale builder for the team. Right now, this team needs to find a way to get a result. They need to find a way to get a point. And it doesn't matter if it's great soccer, because after you've lost 2 games, you're not going to play great soccer all the time. But you've got to fight as a group. You've got to tactically get your team organized properly, like Nacho's going to do. So I don't think it's going to be – I think it's going to be 1-1. I agree with you guys. I want them to play good soccer, but if it's 90 minutes and they've played awful soccer and they find a way to get a result, then that's what this team needs right now. Because sometimes you can play the prettiest soccer in the world, you go back and you play your style of soccer and you lose. That's not morale building.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's discouraging because you played well enough to win and you couldn't get a result. And there's games where you play absolutely awful, you get pinned back, you get one free kick, you score the goal, and all of a sudden you walk out of there with a win or you walk out of there with a tie. So I always want good soccer. I always think good soccer will prevail. But at this point, I'll take a point, a 1-1 draw, 0-0 draw. It does not matter to me. They just need to find a way to get that joy back.
Okay.
Agreed. I think anything could happen, right? But I just want that whatever happens, it's best for the team's morale. Lose or draw. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but that's all I really. Because you're right. This is a different kind of tournament. It's not a Premier League tournament where if you get the most points, this is just about getting in between the best 8, and then after qualifying to the Liguilla, quien viene con mejor ritmo, who's playing, who's anímicamente better. That's really what I'm starting to see. That's what really does matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, again, I predicted a draw. But if they can somehow get up there, if they can somehow go up there and get out of there with 3 points, I feel like it would be huge. It would be huge because I just feel like something about this game coming up seems really difficult to me. Like this is going to be what we need to do is bounce back, but this is going to be a really difficult match to do so. Just the travel, it's another long trip. It's kind of an unfamiliar and uncomfortable environment, and just that Juarez is playing really well right now. It's gonna be real. So if they can go up there and get those 3 points somehow, even if it's ugly, even if it's really ugly, if they can somehow do it, I feel like that would be huge. So I'm hoping for that, but I'm still predicting the draw.
Yeah, I think it's really rare when I predict the draw, but I feel like just after these 2 games, I think we all have agreed that they just need to get back and find their groove, and we need to recover the players that are in process of recovery. And I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. I agree. I just
1-1. Okay.
Definitely a win, of course, but I feel 1-1 is kind of appropriate. On the other hand, Carlos, who is watching this and he's sick, but he's being awesome backstage, he predicted a 2-1 that we bounce back this week. So
he agrees with Jose, right?
No, I say 1-0.
Oh, 1-0. You both predict the win. Yeah, so I predict 1-1, but I want Carlos and Jose to be right. That's just what Get him.
But I wouldn't be
Yeah, no.
surprised. It's,
What we want to happen is not necessarily the same as our prediction.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all can agree pretty much this week,
Yeah.
which never happens. So
Usually
anyways,
we're overly generous with our predictions. I feel like we're a little more
Because
understandably so, we're a little more more guarded with our predictions this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially after those
After-
peleadas, it's hard to digest.
Yes,
Our
yes.
other friend, Sinelole, which has joined us before, said Leon 2, Juarez 2. She also predicts a draw. So I think we're all kind of in the same boat. That's what we think. 'Cause I guess with Marcelo saying we're thinking with our with our minds, but we want our hearts to get a win out there, and it's gonna be tough. But they'll have Flavio Santos out red carded, and Diego Roland's supposed to be back, so it's looking like a good match. So I'm just hoping
you
just
follow.
I mean,
so you should
They
really
could
know.
they could go up there and surprise us. I mean, they have a whole week now to get their legs fresh, and who knows exactly who's going to be available for it. I mean, they could go up there and impose their will and surprise all of us. I mean, I really hope that happens.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Very.
So.
Especially
Well, that's the end of our podcast. Thank you everybody for joining us on this Monday Night Football. I know we went on so many emotions from the beginning to the end because we had a very tough week and we needed to vent out because we could not do it as nicely per se as Thursday night, where we just wanted to close the door and scream.
Me and my dad went to the gym. We were like, vámonos, papá. Ya sabes, la rutina de siempre.
So, yeah. So, but no, we appreciate everybody joining the pod tonight. We had a very active chat. Unfortunately, Carlos could not be live, but he is in the backstage doing all the tweeting. So thank you, Carlos. We also, in good company, Marco Medina, Eddie, Antonio Garcia, very active tonight. Louis' friend Justin joining us the pod. Luigi 21, Michael Leon, Sinelole, Luis from Chivas del Norte. Thank you everybody for an active live chat. Antonio Garcia says 2-0 we win versus Juarez. So I guess he's also being positive.
Hope you're right, Antonio. I hope you're right, Antonio.
So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys for joining us on another Monday Night Football. We hope to see you again next Monday. Everything Club Leon. Don't forget to follow us on all the social media. We'll be live tweeting during the game. We'll be giving you guys everything we got during these matches. Louis will be there live in person, living the game. So follow him.
I will be. Gonna get me some Chico's tacos in El Paso also.
We'll make sure to post that picture.
I'll send you. I'll post a picture of Chico's tacos. The only place in the world where you drink a taco. Yeah.
Or just drink it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys once again, and we'll see you next time.